Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Telos DST Carbon Ultra Lightweight Snowboard. Yeah, that's a mouthful. This board features Telos's hybrid pow camber, which is a mild camber through the inserts with an elongated rocker in the nose and the tail. This is going to give you ease of entry in and out of turns from that rocker as well as optimal pow float, but you're going to retain that snap between your feet of the camber. This board is available in 150, 154, 158, and 162. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was a mix of cloudy skies, blue skies, colder temps, little bit of wind, a light dusting of snow on top of corduroy, and pockets of heavy pow or light pow depending where I was on the mountain, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This board is stiff, which is to be expected because it's the carbon version of the DST, but it's still consistent and smooth. It is on the higher end of the spectrum for the all-mountain free ride, and you do get softer nose and tail and ever so slightly softer nose and tail. Most of that is accentuated by the rocker zones out there, and then it's stiffer through the middle with a little bit of torsional flex. This board plows through chop, chunder, heavy snow like no other. You don't really notice that the tip is flapping or even being pushed back. It completely dissipates by the time it's hit that front foot. This board wants to just charge through everything in its path and give you that smooth, consistent ride that it's known for. The camber section on this board is mellow and easy to engage, and all it does is accentuate that rocker zone to give this board more of a skate-like pop. And when you load it up, you're gonna spring and snap. This board has some serious pop. It wants to boost. It gets you up in the air. You don't have to worry about it. It's one of those boards that just pops and pops very well with very minimal effort. It's highly reactive, it rebounds like mad, and that just means you're getting more pop out of it. The camber profile and the shape of this board really do lend itself to buttering, but with that said, you still have to muscle it. This is a board that's going to take a little bit more power to get your weight out on the nose or the tail to get it to engage. You're going to feel the board fight you. You want to get your weight out over it. Sure, you have these longer rocker zones that are great for getting sideways, spinning around on and whatnot, but the whole time that camber zone coupled with the core and the profile of this board is going to fight you. So you want to be muscling it. Understand that you're going to have to put a little bit of work into it, but the reward is well worth it. Now here's the best part about this board. Carving on it, much like the regular DST, is absolutely phenomenal. It's quick and nimble. It has a smooth, consistent edge-to-edge transition. What I like about this one over the regular DST though is it changes where you drive the board through a carve. So instead of it being more underfoot, it moves it to the inside of the front foot and outside the back foot, which really changes the dynamic of how this thing carves. It's just a little bit more reactive, steering it that way. This is a board that's great for short, tight, quick turns, medium mellow carves, long hard carves, deep Euro carves. If you just want to leave a trench, you can, but it's a board that also doesn't demand that you have to be on top of it at all times, just powering through everything. You can be laid back with it and just sort of cruise when you need to. Who's this board for? The hard charging free ride guy, of course. If the regular DST is more, in my opinion, an all mountain freestyle board, this is definitely the all mountain free ride aspect of it. It's stiffer, it engages more, it's got more power, it's more reactive. It's still a smooth, consistent ride. It's one of the smoothest rides I've been on. I love the way this thing rides. It's predictable. You don't have to be on top of it if you don't want to, but you can really dominate when you need to. It plows through chop and chunder with ease. It's got snap where you want it. You can butter it and play around. I mean, I could take this thing to the park, but it's a $1,000 board. Why would I take this to the park? That's one of the big things to note about it. The other thing, with this being the carbon ultralight, they do give you this gasket for your bindings so that you don't get binding rash, because you can over tighten your bindings and have it push into the top sheet. That's part of the lightness of this board and the weight reduction and everything there. So you got to be aware of that. You don't want to get that binding rash, but it is lighter weight, but it is more responsive. If you're really looking for something to cut down on weight that is responsive, this is a really great option for that. Comparable boards, the Jones Aviator 2.0, the Ride Berserker, the Nitro Pantera. Binding recommendations, the Rome Cleaver, the Ride A10, the Now Drives. This has been my review of the Telos DST Carbon Ultralight. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.